Hello, this is David D. Hilster. I am a critical thinker, dissident scientist, and I'm here to tell you the truth about science, something university professors won't tell you, the mass media won't tell you, and certainly those science evangelists won't tell you. Well, remember, folks, if you're enjoying my videos, go down below, hit subscribe, and the little bell next to it, that little bell will tell you and alert you when my next video comes out. Sometimes it's the next day, sometimes it's 2 or 3 days, but you don't want to miss it because I'm always talking about stuff that's really interesting that you're not going to find anywhere else on the internet, like today's topic. Can we just throw out something that is a very prominent theory today and not replace it? My answer is yes, we can. But guess what? Most people will not accept that answer. It's an emotional response that they won't. I was being interviewed for a pretty big YouTube channel because I'll go ahead and approach these people and say, hey, why don't you interview me? And that way, you know, more people get exposed to this channel. And I know there's a lot of people who think like we do as critical thinkers and don't buy a lot of the mumbo jumbo from mainstream science. Well, in this conversation, I was talking about, well, relativity is wrong. He says, well, what's right? Of course, I talked about Karazani, but Karazani actually replaces with autodynamics, which are really equations that are Newtonian. He replaces it with Newtonian. Basically throws relativity out. And the guy goes, well, you know, if there's no replacement, I'll just stick with relativity. It's almost like I'm not going to abandon living in a house to live in a inflatable dome. Everybody else, I don't see anybody else, living in an inflatable dome. And I keep hitting my microphone here. Boom, boom. Sorry about that. And so, they feel very uncomfortable because they don't want to jump to that, like, oh, relativity is wrong. Other people, they go, oh, yes, I'm not the only one who thinks relativity is crazy. It's more like probably a lot of you guys, maybe not. If you're sort of uncomfortable with that, go back to my videos. I have lots of stuff on relativity. But anyways, the upshot is, he was not going to let go of relativity because there was nothing to replace it with. And that's the emotional thing. Well, not everybody's doing it, so I'm not going to do it. And I just don't want to take that emotional hit. I'm going to have to argue with all my friends about it, and I'm going to look stupid. I don't want to bother with it. I'd rather just interview people like the Flat Earth Society so we can just wail on them. And, you actually may have answers, and we don't want that. Anyways, I'm sorry. A little emotional voyage there I took, didn't I? Okay. But anyways, the idea is I was trying to say no. And I've said this to many people. No, we can throw out relativity. Goodbye. It can be a dead end. Well, let's look at what a person who doesn't want to go through that and wants to hold on to something, because look, you're going to take away my life raft. I'm going to drown unless you throw me something else. So they think, okay, then they'll get people who says, okay, Dave, let's say you do that. Then everything stops. We got to stop all kinds of stuff. GPS, what do? We can't use relativity anymore for that. And certainly relativity is part of GPS because it's got to be. You got the speed of light, you got communication at the speed of light, you got measuring, all that kind of stuff. And of course we have gravity lensing, which helps us look and identify where and which stars have planets outside of our solar system. So Dave, that's really nice, but guess what? Everything stops. They're going to have to just send everybody home. No, the reason is why? Because GPS doesn't use relativity. They don't sit around using relativity. They are using equations, engineering equations. They are not using like, oh, let's put relativity in now so we can make them correct. In fact, I've told you the story. Ron Hatch has told NASA, you got to add the speed of the satellite to the speed of C, and you'll get rid of that one little error you're always having. They don't know what to do with that answer. That means relativity is wrong. They may have to throw it out. But secretly, they're all saying to. In fact, we had one person from GPS who knew a lot about GPS and worked with GPS. Not Ron Hatch. Someone, Greg Volk, told me he leaned over to Greg Volk and said, "Hey, it's a dirty little secret, but we don't use relativity in GPS." Yeah, we're taught that. That's one of the first things we're taught. We're taught in grade schools, and middle schools, high schools, universities, all across the globe. So if everything stops, everything is wrong too, because you have people like Neil deGrasse Tyson saying, Newton. The world's based on Newton. Well, there's some things that aren't right because you get to close the speed of light. Newton's all wrong. Einstein. Oh, now we're even closer. Oh, that didn't work in the middle of that close. We have string theory. I mean, we're just going from a really solid science of Newton to something we need to throw away. And then, oh my gosh, something was invented. Wasn't even, you can't throw away magical things that don't exist, like strings. But going back to what he says, Tyson says, oh, I know, we can't, if we are throwing around relativity, then everything's wrong. We got to start over because the whole universe is based on that. Everything we know is based on that. So everything is wrong. Everything we know is wrong. That's another argument. All right, let's go on. Then they get to the point, okay, let's say everything's wrong. You got replacements? Do you guys? Are they any good? Yeah, we've got a bunch of replacements. We got ether theories, particle theories, energy wave theory from Jeff Yee. We have lattice theories. We have action and distance theories. We have the force equations from Bill Lucas. We have all kinds of things that can replace what's there and a much better system. Why? Because they're simpler. As Dr. Alexander Unziger says, simpler is better. The more we know about the universe, the simpler it should get. So yeah, we have a bunch of replacements, but that's really uncomfortable because which one is winning? That's like saying, okay, we got to throw, everybody has to throw out their air conditioner. Now, the air conditioner systems are pretty much the same all around the world. Not all of them. Yes, I know there's other different, but the mechanical ones we know with Freon. Now we got to throw that out, and we got 17 other ones that we have. Which one's going to win? Which one's the best? I don't know. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to roast in the hot Florida sun here. Well, that's sort of what people think when they think about all these theories. Which one? Just I'll hold on to relativity until one of these are better, or right, or one that comes to the surface. Then I'll be safe. Then I don't have to think. I don't have to do critical thinking. And worse, if I just ignore it, I won't be one of the people who actually puts science forward. I'm going to be another follower, and those people that are waiting for it will become the people who worship the next person. So, yeah, but I know you're different because you're a critical thinker. You're listening to this here. And the last thing is that we truly right now, nothing really would stop. We wouldn't lose anything if we were to throw away, let's go further, the Big Bang, plate tectonics, we have particle physics, the Big Bang, all those things. If we just threw them all away, what would happen? Would the world stop? No. Would electrical engineers stop making electric circuits? No. No. Would NASA stop shooting off? Would Elon Musk stop shooting up stuff into the sky? No. Would engineers still continue to build their bridges and stuff? Yes. Would the chemistry people, molecular engineers, still use software to make molecular structures? New chemicals? Yep. You know why? Because all of those things don't use physics, really. They use what I call engineering equations. And those engineering equations are things that simply are not needing the fundamental, for instance, electrical engineering is a good one. My father and I have a particle model that gives us a much better understanding of the actual physics of what's happening with electricity and magnetic fields and all of that stuff, the materials, all of that. It gives us a better insight. But we can still use all the electrical engineering equations and all the computer programs that put those things together and build those electrical circuits. We don't need to throw all those away if we don't have an overriding. You know why? Because we don't have one now. We don't have one now. So if we throw away relativity, we're not using it. We don't have to change anything. We're not using it. We're using things that we see, gravitational lensing. No, we're using things that we know that light is bending in. Light bends in, not in empty space with stuff in space. So yeah, it's not space-time, but who cares? We're using it We're using things and we've developed techniques, equations, instruments, technologies to do the things we need to do. We use lasers all the time. We have no idea what a laser light is. We don't know what light is. So, but does that stop us from using all our technology? No. So we got to get over this idea that throwing out relativity or anything else is going to just stop. Everything goes to a halt. Absolutely not. In fact, everything's going to go forward because now we are finally free from the shackles of going down this one-way street to a brick wall, which a lot of people in mainstream science, I think, feel that's happening, because you'll hear these phrases now and then. We could all this could be wrong. Someone could come along and show us all this could be wrong. Well, we've already done that. It's just a matter of people finally saying, okay, let's throw it out. And that's what it comes down to. Always, always, always. Emotion over logic. Emotion over critical thinking. They don't want to let go of it because it's emotionally difficult. It's not intellectually difficult. In fact, it's intellectually really, really interesting. So I hope you understand that, yes, we can throw out a theory, a model, and still survive. Mankind and the universe will still go forward. And actually, technology will go forward as well. The difference will be that we'll be able to do much more technology and much more amazing things in the future because we will be able to come up with models that are way better, and we have them today. So remember what I say. Don't take my word for it or anyone else's on faith. You stay critical. You stay thinking. I'm David D. Hilster. I am your science therapist, trying to keep you on the road to become a critical thinker. And yes, throw it out. Ciao for now.